Well, hello and welcome from the Sydney Track Classic. We've got the pre-show tonight brought to you by Chemist Warehouse, and I'm joined trackside, and I know you're very happy to be trackside. Matt Lynch.
It's good to be down here.
This is where the action all happens. You're out of the commentary box. There is a lot of action to look forward to tonight. I know you're pretty excited about this program.
Well, it is track and field, but I think the track's going to be a highlight tonight. Look, it is the 3,000 metre championships here for the Australian Championships. It's a big point scoring event for the 5,000 metre runners, so we're going to see some of our best distance runners go toe to toe. And we're talking about distance, the 800 metres. We've got Peter Bolt again, he's back out here. You know, Jeff Risey, another Olympian from last year. Joseph Deng, our old Australian record holder, he's racing. And in the women's event, Benderia Boyer, but against Claudia Hollingsworth. She's out here again tonight, and I'm hearing rumours that there could be a sub-2 on the cards.
Ooh, that would be pretty special if there was a sub-2. Now, Lynchy, we're having mic problems, so I'm going to share my mic with you because what you said then was Claudia Hollingsworth could break 2 minutes, you've heard, in the 800 metres. And if she does that, that would be very, very special.
Well, not only on this track, this is the track that Katrina Bissett broke sub-2 for the first time as well. So it's been done. It's a good place for firsts.
Well, there is a lot to look forward to, but we have also had some great events on already this evening, starting with the men's hammer throw. And we know that the winner in the men's hammer throw was Ned Weatherly. And you know what I like the most about Ned when he throws? Got to be his celebrations.
Well, we were in underneath before with the officials room, and I said, look, if he throws a PB, we're probably going to hear it. And he did throw a PB, and we did hear it.
We did. And, you know, he's been throwing pretty well down in Victoria, so we're pretty excited to see how he was going to go when he came up to compete against the other hammer throw guns that were out there competing. But you're watching the screen now, Ned. You've joined us here. How did the competition go for you tonight?
Yeah, it was a pretty slow start. So I fouled the first round, and then I think I threw 66. And just a huge shout out to Tim Hayes as we're watching him right there. The big lefty threw out a huge PB. I think it was a 3 metre PB for him of 68.31. So he really put me on my toes, and I had to pull something out. But yeah, developed through the comp and got a 68.71, which is a PB for me, which is just awesome. It's been 2 years since I got a PB, so it was an awesome comp.
Well, we talk about, the track runners talk about a fast track. I've heard Dani Stevens reply this is a fast circle. Is it a fast circle for hammer?
Look, I know that the circle just got relayed, so the concrete, look, to me it feels really good. I think that they've relayed the surface and may have put some kind of maybe acid or something on it to give it a bit of wear so it's not lightning. But yeah, it's a really good circle, smooth, and you get a lot out of it if you're throwing well. So yeah.
Now, for people back home, they might not know, you're a police officer as well, and you've also been doing some ridiculously long hikes. It's not like a thrower to be wanting to do a lot of distance work.
No. Yeah, I love my hiking. I love getting out in nature, and I think doing the job that I do, it is very taxing on the mind sometimes, and it's very taxing on the body. So sometimes it's just good to get out into nature and just to switch off from everything. So I just recently did the Surf Coast walk, which is from Fairhaven Surf Lifesaving Club to Point Impossible. So it was about 45k. So I did it didn't plan very well. Did it with a 20 kilo pack on my back, and did it in a day. So I did it in about 9 hours, and yeah, I was feeling it the next day. But I love it. It's a good way to get out into nature and yeah, switch off from everything.
Well, Ned, it's always a joy to speak to you. Congratulations on your personal best. Well done. You go and enjoy that now.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks very much. Thank you. And it wasn't just the men out there competing tonight. The women were throwing at the exact same time. And Alex Hulley, she was back out there in that circle and doing what she does best, winning the competition and winning with a great throw.
This is the venue that when she did throw her personal best back in 2020 against Gwen Berry. When Gwen Berry came out here and took the scalp of Gwen Berry, which is a pretty big, something to put on there.
Gwen Berry's a huge name. Now we're joined by Alex. Alex, what a fabulous competition. You've really started this season off with some great consistency in your throwing.
Yeah, thank you. This season has definitely started so much better than last season. We've really worked on consistency in comps, and I think it's shown in my results this season already. Yeah.
Well, you got the silver medal in that Commonwealth Games in 2018. It's a Commonwealth Games year. Is that where your aspirations lie this year, or are you still thinking that you want to go to that World Champs as well and take on people like Gwen Berry, who you know you can beat when you put up against them?
Look, I think we're going to take it one step at a time this year. There's been a lot of challenges thrown at me, but we're finally on the right path, and I'm getting there right when it counts at the end of the season. So definitely to defend my title at Comp Games would be amazing. Or my silver medal at Comp Games would be amazing. To get there again, and definitely to be at a World Champs would be awesome too. But I think Comp Games is definitely sort of my focus this year. Yeah.
Well, we know you're a great competitor. Every time you have made that Australian team, you've been very competitive and you've managed to get yourself onto that podium. How has training been going? Is it something that you've been working on, that consistency, so that the big throw, that 70 metre plus throw that you've done before, is going to come back out this season as well?
Yeah, definitely. What we've been doing is sort of working on building my comp average up. So last year I didn't really have a great season. It was up and down each sort of comp, but this year it's been consistently high. So hopefully if we can keep it at that high level, then the 70 metre throws, they'll come easier than jumping, down, up each comp. They'll just come easier at every comp. Yeah.
And what about from here? Where do you go for the domestic season? Where's your next competition?
The next comp will be the Nationals back here in 3 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. That'd be awesome.
Well done, Alex. That was a fabulous, fabulous competition. You've got to be happy. Another great throw. Good luck for the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tamsin. Thank you, everyone.
Now, Lynchy, you're coming back in?
Yeah, well, this is out of batteries, so looks like we're on one microphone, but look, we'll get through it.
Well, it's been a pretty special day so far for the athletes. The field events have started off and we're looking forward to the main program to come a bit later. But, we've got some special guests coming up. We have Dani Stevens, who's going to join us soon. But there's been a lot of talk around some of the athletes that have been competing overseas so far this year. The World Indoor Team was recently announced, and you can see that on the screen. Who are you looking forward to competing next weekend in Serbia, Lynchy?
Well, I got a Central Coast connection to Charlie Hunter. I'm looking forward to some of these names you might not know. So Tom Willems, he won the under-20s back here in 2017. He's been overseas, I think at Colorado State University, and he'll be one to watch. He's a new name on the scene. You might see there in that 1,500 metres. Unfortunately, Stuart McSwain, he has pulled out. It's going to be replaced by Jack Anstey, a young Queenslander. So I think that'll be very exciting as well in that 1,500.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, Jack Anstey is that athlete who, he 6 months ago he was contemplating giving the sport away, and then it's amazing what you can achieve when you hang in there. And he's moved to Flagstaff to train and found himself on an Australian team. But it is a great indoor team, and I think that we're going to get some medals out of that team next weekend.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, especially watching Ash Maloney. He's actually never done an indoor heptathlon, but that's something where, his long throws weren't the greatest of the events that he did over in Tokyo, but there's no long throws indoors. So I think it's going to actually be right up his alley.
And there was a 10,000 metres on during the week. Jack Rayner went overseas to California and he broke that area record, which was very, very special.
Hey guys, Jack Rayner here. Event is anything from, say, 5K up to a marathon, and I'm coached by Nick Bideau. I didn't choose the marathon really. I just kind of got pushed to it because I wasn't quite good enough on the track, but I think it was a good way to kind of get some more experience, train for longer distance, and then see how that went, and then, go back to the track after a few unsuccessful attempts at the marathon. So, now I've kind of found a bit of form that I knew I had in me, but never really got a chance to show it. Now focusing on running national 3K and 5K. So that'll be good to go back and do some shorter distances that I haven't really had a proper go at yet. Then after that, I think I'll go to Europe for a little bit and do another few track races over there, hopefully, before going over to the US for World Champs. Away from the track, you'll find me coaching with Pulse Running. So that's been taken off the last few years, which has been great. I do that with Collis Birmingham and Brett Robinson. So, a lot of our time's gone into that. But other than that, I do have a lot of free time. So you can find me at the dog park a lot of the time or at cafes.
Well, that was a pretty special run, Jack. 10,000 metre national record, area record, and he's back in Australia already. He's got great future this season. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do over the marathon as well. Let's go to a quick break, and our special guest is after that break.
It's important to stay hydrated, and that 8 glasses of water per day is recommended. Though for many of us, that's easier said than done. That's why more Australians are making Hydrolite part of their daily rehydration routine. Hydrolite is scientifically formulated to rapidly rehydrate faster than water alone, with products suitable for every member of the family, so you can embrace life's everyday moments. You'll find the Hydrolite range for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Well, we have a special guest with us. Dani Stevens, she's recently announced her retirement. Has there been anything that she hasn't really achieved in this sport? She was world champion at such a young age in 2009. She's a double Commonwealth Games gold medalist. She was fabulous at a junior. She's got a collection of medals, hasn't she? 4th in that Olympics in Rio. Fabulous athlete.
I know, and it was one of those things where after winning the World Champs in 2009, everyone thought, oh, she's got the Australian record. But no, it wasn't until 2017 that she got that silver at the World Champs, that she finally got that Australian record, got that big PB. And I think we all felt it was just so exciting and a bit of a relief too, just like, yes, finally.
Well, I think it's pretty special that we've got her here. Dani, now it's the next phase of your life, isn't it? You're pregnant. Congratulations. We've just gone through your highlights of your career. Can you give us what the main highlight was? It's hard.
It is really hard. I've had some really great experiences with the Commonwealth Games, experiencing 2 in Australia, in Melbourne in 2006 and Gold Coast in 2018. I think having your family and friends around has made those stand out a lot. But yeah, throwing your PB is probably pretty good. That comp in London, even though the London Olympics were fantastic for the vibe and the crowd, and again, family and friends were there. So yeah, but I think when I reflect back, it's more the people that you meet. And I know I used to hear athletes who have retired say that, and you're like, oh yeah, but it really is when you look back. It was 18 years of my life, and yeah, the people that I've met are lifelong friends, and I've learnt so much from them. So yeah, that's kind of my favourite bits.
I've got a mic again. Let's give this a shot. So Dani, I grew up in New South Wales, and you were part of Westfield Sports High. You're basically like the Americans, the USA. You were just dominant everywhere. Did an environment like that help you as you were developing as a junior?
I definitely think so. My coach Dennis Knowles already coached there. So I actually went there for basketball originally, and so my family was a sporting family, and all my cousins and my older sister, and eventually my younger brother and sister went there as well. So I think it definitely showed you what was possible, and the amount, not the amount of training, but how you applied yourself to training. Yep. It didn't mean you had to be on the track or in the gym for 40 hours a week or anything, but it really showed you that if you applied yourself in those training sessions, that attention to detail, you could go a really long way. And for me, 11 and 12 and pathways over year 12 coincided with World Youth and World Juniors, so that was kind of the time that I decided I really wanted to to see what my potential was in shot put and discus. So I had the opportunity through Westfields and having more time with Dennis to be able to do that. And it was a really competitive environment, but it was always academics first. If you didn't perform academically, you weren't allowed to go to the swimming carnival.
I like that.
I love that. And I know how important your teammates were, and we have something for you that your teammates wanted to give you some messages. So if you look down at the box here, your teammates are really, really important to you. Well, you're special for them too.
Dani, thank you for being such an inspiration to myself and so many others. I always enjoyed watching you throw and always admired your passion, professionalism and dedication to being one of the best female discus throwers of all time.
Watching Dani win the world title in the discus in 2009 World Championships, which was actually my first World Championships as well. I was 19, and seeing Dani win that was inspiring to me and something I'll always remember.
I've loved following Dani's journey over the years, and I think what I'm most excited about now is as she enters into the new chapter of motherhood. I'll be following very closely as I too enter into a new chapter of motherhood. It's just another whole journey that I will gather inspiration from, as well as her athletic career.
Dani Stevens was the person who inspired me to become a world champion in 2011. I roomed with her in 2009 when she won her first world title, and when I went into 2011 I was thinking, what would Dani do to win these championships, and that's how I did it. So thanks Dani, and have a great retirement.
I feel very privileged to have her as one of my best friends, and she's given me so much advice as being an athlete, but also one of my go-to people for advice just in life in general. So I thank her for everything that she's done for me and for the sport, and just for giving back and being such an amazing person for everyone in the sport. So yeah, we love you and we loved your career, and we can't wait to see what you do later in life.
Dani Stevens, what a legend. Not only an insanely talented, dedicated athlete and fierce competitor, but an absolutely amazing human being. Kind, loyal, generous, fun to be around, and someone that I am lucky enough to call a friend for life. Happy retirement, Dani.
Stop it, guys. I'm going to cry, hormonal as it is. That's so nice. I love all of those people there, and all the memories that they have brought up are so vivid in my mind, and I admire each of them equally. I could have my own stories about them as well. Like, I remember Ryan at 2009 World Championship, seeing him in the lift afterwards. I've roomed with all the girls there, and just, you get to know each other on a human level outside of competing and training and that, and it's really.
There's one more. There's one more. You talk about your roommates. It would have been really bad if we missed this one, but there's one more. Kim Mickle.
Hey, Dani. Geez, where do I start? I remember you when I was 21. It was my first senior international meet, which was the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, and I thought I was doing pretty well, getting 4th place, being like still 21, pretty young. But then this raggedy old bloody 17-year-old came through and dropped a bomb and got a bronze medal at her very first event as well, and kind of put me to shame. And I think from then on we've kind of bonded, and I think have been roommates ever since. But I know a lot of people will be rattling off all your achievements, which have been just absolutely insane, but I reckon they're probably forgetting the most important one and most impressive one in my mind, and that was the Ferrero Rocher 1 minute challenge, where you managed to get 8 in 1 minute, and the world record is actually 9. So I think that should be actually put up on a mantelpiece. You should have a medal for that, because I think you still hold the Aussie record for that. Look, I hope you enjoy your night. I just am still so impressed with your whole career. And you've made everyone proud as punch. Massive shoes to fill for the next up-and-coming discus throwers, but a huge legacy you've left. So awesome job, mate.
Oh, that's... I think I have laughed the hardest in my life when rooming with Kim Mickle. She is the funniest person ever.
I'm not surprised.
She emceed Joe in my wedding. She's one of my great friends. She's so funny, and the reason behind that Ferrero Rocher story was because it was after the 2013 World Championships in Moscow, and I didn't perform how I wanted to. I was pretty upset. And, I was sitting there kind of just being a sad sack, and she's like, righto, let's get a challenge going. So Kim loves a challenge. She loves a game. And she's like, we had Ferrero Rocher sitting there because this challenge had been going around. She's like, right, give it a go. And I think I was just channeled all my adrenaline into it, and I just hoed down 8 Ferrero Rochers in a very short space of time. Not my proudest moment, but, maybe in other people's eyes it was. So Kim just has the ability to make everybody smile and just bring out the best in everyone. So, it just brings it back to who you are, and back to normal. And while we pour our heart and soul into it, it's in the end it's sport, and we're doing it because we love it, and it's a privilege to do it. So those people are awesome.
Well, Dani, you're an absolute star. We just appreciate you taking the time to come and chat to us on the pre-show. But congratulations on a fantastic career, and we're going to miss you. Maybe after the bub comes along, there'll be a comeback. But thank you.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, you didn't say no.
Well, I always said I won't be able to stay away. That's why I'm here tonight. So I'm keen to see the discus and everything, all the other events happening. So, yeah, I don't think I'll ever be a step fully away from athletics. So you'll always see me around, whether in what capacity, I don't know what. But, I'm excited for the future.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dani. Thanks so much for coming along. Appreciate it. Now, the men's pole vault also happened this evening, and it didn't really go exactly to plan for some of the athletes in the meet, but it certainly did for Dalton, who's joined us this evening. You took the chocolates, now 5:15, but you had some attempts at 5:35 as well.
It was difficult conditions. The wind was bit swirly for all the athletes. Everyone jumped well considering. Had an attempt at 5:35, which would have been a PB. Third attempt, got the height, but just didn't get the right timing with the distance. But yeah, done well.
Do you see this sets you up for Nationals? You know, Nationals is going to be here as well, and you know, you might not be at that end, you might be down here, but
Yeah.
you know, taking a win here on that caliber sort of athletes. Obviously,
Sure.
it's missing Curtis, but
Yeah.
you know, you took the win.
Yeah, no, I'm extremely happy, and this event is very good because it's basically the same athletes for Nationals, so
Yeah.
basically it gets me ready for that comp. Should be good.
Just one last question. The Box Hill singlet is pretty famous for pole vaulting, isn't it?
Yeah, Steve Hooker, we got him. My coach made it clear that we had to wear Box Hill until we get sponsored by any other
That's fair.
thing because they're a bigger sponsor. So yeah, go Box Hill.
There you go.
Love it, love it. Bit of club action for Victoria. They'll love it too. Well done, Dalton. That was a fabulous effort. Well done on the win. Well, there's lots more to look forward to, Lynchy.
No, there is. I can't wait for tonight. It's going to be such a fantastic. As you can see here, this is the triple jump that was on the back straight earlier. And Emmanuel Fakai taking out that jump there. But he was your eventual winner, Ao Ore from Victoria. Oh, I'm just going to try and get over here. He's hiding in the corner. So, Ao, talk me through the competition. Obviously, you actually got to spend a bit of time in the sunshine. You know, it is a little bit cool down here, and you're down the back straight because the pole vaulters, you know, they take over the front straight sometimes. But I talking to a few of the triple jumpers before, they do like the back straight because, you know, the crowd gets a little bit closer.
Yeah, no, the back straight's probably the preferred one for us. So yeah, combined with sunny weather, I was expecting kind of rain, you know, given the floods and everything. So yeah, no, I couldn't have asked for better conditions. Maybe could have done some better jumps, but yeah. No.
Well, I think triple jump's one of those things, isn't it? It's just, it's not always going to go right, but when you hit it, you hit it. So 16:11, where do you think that sits on like your scale of, you know, it wasn't terrible, it's not a personal best, where does it sit?
It's just around the mark that I just can't complain about it. But like, yeah, hopefully, Nationals 2 weeks, hopefully I can go a bit further. We're all the guys in the event kind of hovering around kind of a similar mark. So every time we get out there, it's like, fuck, who can go over the line. So yeah, no, I was happy with it.
Well, it seems like that every time you turn up, it was probably just missing Connor Murphy tonight, but it's always the same one. And from our perspective, we never know who's gonna pop it out. But it does take a 16-metre jump to get over there. Do you think that having those guys every time there elevates you every week?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, that's why I like coming out here to these meets. Same guys every time, and yeah, we push each other. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to jump this far in Vic, so yeah, no, it was great.
I love it. Thank you, Ao. He took out the men's triple jump, and now we are going to throw to Tamsin, who is in a very special place. We've got a secret camera up there.
Okay, so I am here at the call room, which is the room where the athletes go finally after they've done their warm-ups to get ready before they head out to the track. Now, it's quite a nerve-wracking place. I don't mean to make the ladies behind me any more nervous than they probably are. As you can see, the women's 100-metre hurdlers are in the bay getting ready for their race that's coming up in about 20 minutes' time. Now, this is where they do their final checks with the officials. They get their numbers checked, their shoes checked, and then they will get their gear on that they're going to be racing in later on the track, and then they'll head out to the track when the call is done. But this is the room where the athletes sit and they're alone with their thoughts for the last time before they walk out to that track. Emotions are high, but you have to be focused, really focused. It's a place where the athletes could be made or broken. It's one of those rooms where the athletes are in there getting ready, focusing on their final preparations, but trying to remember what the coach has told them as well. Got to try and stay relaxed, focused, not get distracted, stay calm, but it's where the athletes sometimes will get along. Let's see who we've got in here. Guys, we've got Michelle Jenica. Abby Tadeo's there as well. Celeste, how are you, Celeste? I know it's probably the last thing they want to do before they compete. And I think Danielle's there too. Hey, good luck, guys. I hope you have a really good run. The 100 hurdles, obviously we've had such great history with the hurdles. We have Sally Pearson in the crowd tonight, so I know she'll be watching very carefully this race to see how it goes. But thank you so much for joining us for the Sydney Track Classic pre-show, brought to you by Chemist Warehouse. There is a lot to look forward to in the main program. This event in particular, the women's 100 hurdles, is going to be a cracker. Stay tuned.